Today makes 12 years, and this has been a long journey. So, yeah. So, 12 years ago, y'all, October the 23rd, 2012, me and my boyfriend and my daughter, we were staying at my god sister's house because me and my mom had recently got into like a little argument. I had packed my things and left. We was about to move into our place that fall.
Hello, welcome in, welcome back. It's another reaction video. If you like drama, if you like tea, heck, if you just like to hear someone else's story, this is the channel for you. Let's get started on today's reaction video.
What's up, y'all? This is story time on how my boyfriend slash baby father was tragically unalived 12 years ago. This may be sensitive, to some people. I'm not trying to trigger anybody. I'm just simply wanting to give my testimony, wanting to speak on what I've been through. Today makes 12 years, and this has been a long journey. So, yeah. So 12 years ago, y'all, October the 23rd, 2012, me and my boyfriend and my daughter, we were staying at my god sister's house because me and my mom had recently got into like a little argument. I had packed my things and left. We was about to move into our place that following week, so I just needed somewhere to go for a few days. So we went there, chilled there the whole weekend or whatnot, and my baby father, he was with his friends. And his friends, his girlfriend, her birthday was that weekend, so they had a nice little kickback, all that type of stuff. Me, I'm just had a new baby, so I'm, somewhere put up with our daughter while he's out and about. So, y'all, no shade or nothing like that, but I always really had a problem with my baby daddy being with this friend that he had, because it always seemed like every time he was with him, something crazy always happened. Like when I was 5 months pregnant, he got robbed in his house. You know what I'm saying? So stuff like that, as a girlfriend, kind of makes you be like, I don't want you hanging with him. But you know how y'all fellas do. You know how the fellas do, y'all. Sometimes they don't listen to their woman. And I'm just going to say this before I tell this story. Fellas, when your girl is telling you she got a gut feeling about something, or saying someone ain't your friend, or be careful around certain people, y'all listen to her. This woman sleep with you every night. This woman is in tune with you. If she feel like something ain't right, listen to your girl. So back to the story. My boyfriend, he met these guys based upon a mutual friend. He made a lot of interactions with people due to what he did for a living. And he was making interactions, having interactions with these guys on a regular basis. He always looked out for the guy. And like 2 weeks before my baby father got killed, I remember him selling him an iPod that didn't work. So I remember my boyfriend getting on the phone with him, telling him, like, look, man, this is not working. I got a new baby. Like, I don't have money to waste, on stuff that's not working. You knew that before you sold it to me. So I heard him and the guy kind of getting into it about him getting the money back, but I never knew it could turn out into this. You know what I'm saying? So 2 weeks go by after this whole little iPod situation. Like I said, we chilling at my god sister house. I was gonna stay there for a couple days until our place was ready. We had to pay the deposit for our lights and all that good stuff. So while I'm at my god sister house, I ended up texting him that night, telling him, like, you always claim me and celebrity is the only people that you love, but you always, with your friends. So he didn't give me no argument this night, y'all. He just was like, okay, I'm coming. And he came. I had cooked a meal. We had watched a movie. My cousin and her boyfriend was there, along with one of my other cousins and her daughter that was in the back room. And they also had a +1, which was their homeboy slash one of my homeboys as well from childhood. So we all sitting there chilling, watching a movie, He watched the movie, and it was called Taking Lives by, it was a movie with Angelina Jolie in it. And I'll never forget, y'all, as we watching this movie, I couldn't even watch the movie. I just kept staring at him. He just like, babe, watch the movie because you're going to be asking me what happened in a few minutes. And it was just like, I don't know. I just felt this urge to just keep looking at him. He just looked so good to me, y'all. I ain't even gonna lie. He looked so good. Ugh. My baby was fine now. If you know, then you know. But yeah, so it was kind of almost if I had this little feeling, but I didn't know what I was experiencing at the time, right before his death. So as we watching this movie, like I said, having a good time, he ends up falling asleep. I'm eating my food now. The guys called and they wanted to purchase something. So while they're calling to purchase something, I hear the tone in his voice like that's it? All right. They literally called him for something that was $5 worth at the time, y'all. So he all right. He ends up falling asleep on the couch. The guys are still not there yet. But I'm not paying attention. He deal with these guys on the regular, as far as that goes. So there was nothing new. So as I'm eating my food, his phone ring. He wake up and he do this thing where if he's coming outside, he's not gonna answer the phone and tell you he's on the way out. You just gonna see him walking out. So that's what he did. I watched him sit up, put his shoes on, and proceed to head out the door. As he's trying to head out the door, one of my little baby cousins is actually trying to go with him outside, but it's kind of cold. And y'all, I actually had my baby sitting at this door. I had my baby sitting at this door because we didn't use that door, based upon how her place was set up. So we always use her back slide doors. So when the dudes called, I guess they told him they was, coming the front way. He knew where the guy baby mom stayed, which was the front way, so it only made sense for him to go out that front door. So he goes out this front door. My baby's still sitting here at the door. He go out. I'm sitting out eating my food. Next thing I know, y'all, I just hear gunshots, like a lot of gunshots. And I'm just like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's not registering that he's outside. It is, but it ain't, because it's like, I'm not thinking about how long he been outside or nothing. I'm not thinking nothing could be going wrong. So I'm thinking to myself, like, what? Do E got a gun? E is my baby father, y'all. I'm like, do E got a gun? I'm like, no, he don't tote guns. So I'm confused. Everybody is in there running around. Everybody pulling each other, like running, hiding under stuff, because the gunshots was sounding super close. And it's like, it was so much going on in such little time, y'all. Like, you would be amazed how much stuff took place in like 5 minutes. I thought this was like a 30-minute event. All this stuff happened in like 4 to 5 minutes, y'all. So as I'm hearing these gunshots, I'm just standing up looking out the window, and I just see sparks. All I see is sparks. So everybody running, people pulling me like, come on, they trying to drag me to the back. And I'm like, no, my baby. Because I'm now realizing like my baby's at the door. I don't know whether to grab my baby or whether to go out the door to see what's going on with my baby father. Do I shut the door? I just didn't know what to do. So as I screamed my baby, the guy that was there heard me, and he ran over there and picked my whole daughter's bassinet up and ran it to the back of the house. As soon as he ran into the back of the house, my baby father came running in the door. And excuse me, I was shaking a little bit. My baby father came running through the door, and as he's running through the door, bullets is following him, ricocheting off the silver piece down there at the bottom of the door. Is ricocheting, coming into the house, coming through the walls, and he comes in. He walked straight past me, and I'm asking him like, babe, what happened? But he not really responding. He just looking real confused. So he goes into the bathroom, opens the bathroom door, and I see him raise his shirt up. So after he raised his shirt up, he comes out the bathroom, and he like, them MFers shot me, babe. And I'm like, what? So he snatched his shirt off and threw it down on the ground. He was getting kind of mad. Then he like, these MFers shot me, man. So when he turned around, y'all, I don't want to trigger anybody, but when he turned around, like, I literally seen the bullet wound in his back. I freaked out. I lost it, y'all. Like, I don't even know what happened. I just snapped, like, shaking my hands, jumping up and down. And he's like, is it that bad? Like, he's still able to talk to me. So y'all, I panicked. I kind of blame myself for panicking sometimes, because I wish, I would have tried to keep him calm and just try to put him in the car and take him to the hospital myself. But in that situation, like, you really don't know what you're going to do until something like that happened. I did not know what to do, y'all. He had to tell me, like, babe, get me some help, call 911. So then we were trying to apply pressure to the wounds because he was bleeding bad, like, bad. So, y'all, I goes outside because I'm trying to talk to 911 on the phone, trying to find the address. I could not find the address to save my life. Like, I'm in my god sister's drawers looking for mail, everything. They asking me my location. I cannot give 911 my location. Like, I remember running outside, going to knock on people's doors, y'all. People act like they didn't hear me. Nobody wouldn't crack a window. Nobody wouldn't say, are you okay? Do you need me to call? Like, could have hollered through the window, something like that. They just act like they didn't hear me, y'all, while I'm out there just falling apart. Like, I remember one time literally just falling in the grass and just crying because I'm just like, oh my God, like, what is going on right now? And I thought about, like, I got to get up. Like, Shaka, you got to get up. You got to go back in, and you got to make sure E is okay. So that's what I did. I got up. I went back in. Okay, y'all, so I'm running out of time, and backstory, today is actually my son's birthday as well as my baby father's death date. So I'm about to get ready to take my son to the fair and try to spend some quality time with him and turn my vibrations around and try not to be negative today. If y'all want to hear the rest of this story, comment, let me know. I'm just trying to get my testimony out there and let the girls know that even if you go through the hardest of hardest times, baby, just keep pushing. If y'all want the rest of this story, comment and say part 2, please.
This situation was so tragic. Like, going outside to people that you think are your friends is crazy. Do y'all ever experience, or have y'all ever experienced, not only something like this, but when something foul or bad about to happen or has happened and you don't know, everything just seems slow motion or like odd that day, and for some reason she just kept looking at him like something was wrong?
What's up, y'all? My name is Shaka, and this is part 2 of how my baby father was tragically unalived 12 years ago in the presence of me and my daughter. Everybody kept wanting to see what he looked like, so y'all, here's a picture of him and I together. I think we took this picture like Christmas 2010. And before I get into my story, I just want to tell everybody that I thank you all so much for all the encouraging words, for y'all sharing your story. I really, really, really appreciate it. So we're going to get straight into part 2. I'm sorry it took me so long, y'all. This, as y'all know, this is not an easy story. Like, when I tell y'all my nerves are so bad right now, like, my anxiety is out the roof. So just bear with me. So back to what I was saying, I knew I had to make it back into the house to where he was. I had to get up out the ground from crying and realized that wasn't helping him in that time. So I ran back in the house. As I'm in the house, my homeboy, he's still one of our mutual homeboys. He's still sitting down there with him, on the ground, trying to put pressure on the wounds. So at this time, my baby father is sitting there. He's not crying. He is just watching me as pacing back and forth, because at this time I was still trying to find the address. So y'all, whole gag is that they could get my address. They got me running around like a damn fool looking for the address when she like, okay, I have your location there on the way. Like, why didn't y'all ain't just do that from the beginning? Got me going crazy, like looking for this address when you clearly can get the address. It's 911. Come on. So I hang up the phone with her. As soon as I hang up the phone with her, now I'm down here with my baby father, me and my cousin, Taisha. We actually, are down there with him, and she actually had asked him, like, who did this to you? Like, who shot you? And he actually gave a name. I really don't want to say the guy's name, but he said his name. Instantly, I already knew who he was talking to because I was eavesdropping on the conversation as I'm eating anyway, trying to make sure I want a girl on the phone. But yeah, I was eavesdropping, so I already knew who he was talking to. So after we asked him that and he said the name, we kind of just didn't want him to talk anymore, because that's then when I saw that the bleeding was getting to a bad point, because I saw when he opened his mouth that he had a little blood on his teeth. So yeah, as I was saying, we kind of wanted him to stop talking, you know what I'm saying? But he still kept talking throughout the process. Like, he repeatedly told me that he loved me. He was telling my homeboy that was there that he loved him. He was just, going through, I guess. I can't say what he was going through in that time, But in this time, at the same time, I'm really feeling like he's going to make it, you know what I'm saying? So my cousin that's in the back room, we are now like waiting for the police. We waiting for the ambulance. We like, where are they at? Like, we going crazy because we just feeling like it's taking them entirely too long to get here. So finally the police pulls up, but he's just sitting out there in the car. Like, y'all, my cousin, her name Trinice, like, she off the chain. My cousin ran straight out the door and yanked the police up by his collar, like, he in here. Cause right, why are you just sitting outside and not coming in trying to assess the situation? I live in a small town, y'all. I guess he was scared. They ain't familiar with these situations. I don't know, but he was taking too long to get out of that car, so she drug him out. So he comes in. As soon as he comes in, he's flashing the flashlight because he got to clear the scene before the ambulance can come, I guess. That's what he's telling us. So he's flashing the flashlight, but he flashes it right into my baby father's face, y'all. When I tell y'all, like, I smacked it out of his hand. So, well, I didn't smack it out of his hand, but I hit it. Like, get that light out of his face. Because when you see somebody injured and hurt on the ground, why the first thing would you do is to put a flashlight in his face? Please explain it to me. So after that, he began to ask questions like, what happened here? I'm trying to tell him what happened. So in the midst of me trying to tell him what happened, he says, well, hold on. Somebody called and says he was stabbed, and somebody called and said he was shot. So which one was it? So I'm like, huh? I'm lost at the time because I'm unaware that my cousin that was in the back room, she literally didn't have any idea what was going on. So she called the police too. She called 911 too while I'm on the phone with 911 as well. But she said stab. Why she said stab, please don't ask because I do not know. So that's when I tell him like, no, he wasn't stabbed. He was shot. So he asked me, did you do it? Y'all, I wanted to put hands and feet on that police officer right then. Because please don't play with me like that, sir. Please don't play with me like that, sir, okay? I can obviously tell that this man really don't care for people with this skin color. But anyways, after I go off on him about that, he goes away. The paramedics come. My baby father, he is still awake at this time. He's asking to see my daughter, but they wouldn't let me bring her into the room. They telling me no, and they wouldn't let me leave with him on the ambulance either. So y'all, that alone right there was killing me because the last thing I wanted was him out of my eyesight. Like I wanted to make sure, like, he was good. So right as I see them, trying to get him together and put him onto the hospital, the gurney or whatever, that's when I kind of see him like pass out. So they take him away and on the ambulance, don't let me go. I'm upset, but I got to keep calm because they telling me I can't leave to go where he is until I write a statement. So now me and my cousins, we are all writing statements about what happened here. But at this time, y'all, I could care less about a statement. I just wanted to go where my babe was. I just wanted to make sure he was okay. That was my biggest concern. Like, can we do the statements later? So in the middle of me, I think as soon as I got done doing my statement, that's when he comes and tells me that he's in critical condition. Instantly when he tell me that, y'all, I just remember just breaking down like on the back of the car that I was standing in. And to rewind a little bit, I forgot to tell y'all this part, but before I wrote the statements and all that stuff, I called my mom to come get my baby so that my baby isn't still, in this environment while all this is going on. So my mom came, my dad came, everybody got there fast, but they all left and went to the hospital and took my daughter while I stayed behind to write statements. So once I got done with the statements, he pulled me to the side, the police officer who just had accused me of doing something to him, pulled me to the side and began to have me walk with him. So he asking me like, is that y'all daughter? So I'm like, yes. And he like, is y'all in a relationship? I'm like, yes, sir. He like, how long y'all been together? I tell him. And that's when I just remember him telling me like, I'm sorry, ma'am, but he didn't make it. When I tell y'all, I lost it. Like, I didn't have no shoes on. I remember just like stomping, screaming. Me and my cousins, we going crazy. You know what I'm saying? We going crazy because it was just like, what? Like, I'm sorry, I really do not want to cry. I swear to God I don't, but this story real. It is what it is. So I'm just going crazy, but I'm going so crazy to a point where they telling me like, the officer told my cousin that if I don't calm down, he gonna have me admitted onto the 6th floor of the hospital, which if anybody know what that means, that's the psych ward. Y'all, when I tell you I charged at this man, I wanted all the smoke, y'all. Like, I was so pissed just because of how everything happened, how they carried it. Y'all didn't let me go. I just thought they were just real nasty to me about the whole situation. So, y'all, my cousin named Ty. Man, when I tell y'all, she had me in the headlock. Like, my cousin had me so tight. She telling me, like, cuz, I know you will say it, but you have to calm down because I don't want them to lock you up. Like, you have to calm down. So, eventually, I calmed down and enough where, I'm not gonna get detained. I calmed down just enough, but y'all, like, what was I supposed to do? Like, how do I feel? Like, that boy right there was my everything. Like, that was everything I had. Like, to me, other than my daughter, that was everything I had. Like, I never had nobody to love me and understand me the way that he did. Flaws and all, it did not matter. I haven't met another like him since. So y'all, I, try to calm down. And we began to leave to go to the hospital. When I tell y'all that was the longest, quietest ride me and my cousin ever had. We ride together all the time. Like, me and my cousin, we like two peas in the pod. Like, used to be together every day. Like, we was so quiet on that ride, like, just in shock. Like, I'm really on the way to the hospital to see the love of my life, and he gone. Like, I was just trying to process it. Like, I didn't even know what to expect for when I got here to the hospital. So y'all, once again, I hate to leave y'all hanging, but I'm running out of time. But if y'all want to hear part 3, the aftermath, to when I got to the hospital, to how everything was leading up to the funeral, my state of mind, the things that I was going through at that time. If y'all are interested in hearing that, please comment part 3. And before I go, I really want to tell y'all, thank y'all for all the compliments on my hair. Thank you. Appreciate that. Everybody asking what I use. I have some growth oil that I made personally myself that really works wonders. Y'all check my page out for that Shock of the Hair Magician growth oil. But please don't forget to comment part 3 for part 3 of the story. What's up, y'all? This is part 3 to how my boyfriend / daughter father was tragically unalive in the presence of me and my daughter 12 years ago. So as I was saying, that was the most quietest ride me and my cousin ever took together on the way to that hospital. So we pull up to the hospital, and I just remember like the hospital being super packed, like everybody already there. It took us so long to get there because we had to stay behind and, write the statements that by the time we get there, the whole family, my family, his family, all our friends, everybody's there. So I just remember like, everybody gathered up, me not really saying it to nobody really not saying nothing to me at that time. Well, if they did, I really don't remember that. So a lot of things are still kind of cloudy about when I first got to the hospital, but one thing I do remember is that now it is now time for me to go inside the hospital and see the love of my life no more. But let me backtrack for a split second. Now, I said I didn't remember certain things, but certain things stood out to me as well. I remember this girl that was living in the house that he was staying in, like at the time before we had went to my god sister's house. I remember this girl just walking by saying like, but he had a baby. Like, but he had a baby. As if I didn't even exist. But that's another story for another day. So anyways, now it's time for me to go in and see him. So me and my cousins, I remember us all, being walked to the back where he was, back into the emergency trauma unit. And I remember as soon as I got in, I saw my dad and my mom in there. As soon as I walked in, I kind of wanted to almost like just turn back around, but I saw my parents waiting for me, so I knew they wanted to, be there for me. But just being honest, y'all, at this moment, I really just wanted to be with him like by myself. So I remember going in, I remember just seeing my dad like with his hands on his forehead. My dad was praying for him, and my mom was just kind of standing, like just off to the side trying to, give me some support. So yeah, I just remember like, talking to him and just telling him like, babe, we had plans, like like what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? As if he can even help it, y'all. Like I'm really just like, so I'm just like, please don't do this to me, because I just can't believe that I had to watch him go through all that. And I prayed so hard, and I just knew that God heard me. And I'm just like, how can I pray this hard and he did so good and he just not here? It just didn't sit right with me at all. That shit was super devastating. Like I never felt no pain like that before, ever. So I leave, and me and my cousins or whatever, we went to go get up with some of his friends to go ask some questions to kind of get a better understanding of why this might have happened. So we went there, and I just remember us, sitting around drinking and smoking and just discussing everything, trying to come up with why this happened the way that it did. So y'all, I finally pull up at home, and it's like 6 o'clock in the morning, and I just remember like looking in my front screen door, and my brother is standing there holding my baby. Now, my brother and my baby father, they had a real close relationship, so I already knew that my brother was waiting for me to get home. But y'all, like, it just seemed like when he passed, it was hard for me to face anybody. Like, I didn't want to face nobody. I didn't want to see people's reactions to how I looked or how I'm feeling. I just didn't want that type of attention. So I remember like just walking in the house, and I just like walked right past my brother like and my baby. Like I couldn't even look at her at the time because I just knew that it was gonna fuck me up. I just couldn't even look at her. I just walked straight past them and went in my room. So one of my close friends named Asia, she stayed with me, and my friend held me like a baby, y'all, and put me to sleep pretty much, but I did not sleep for long. I slept for maybe like an hour, and I remember just jumping up, like grabbing his boots, because I didn't tell y'all this part, but I took his boots from the crime scene. Like, I saw the police were taking everything else, and when I was getting my baby bassinet out, I saw his boots, and I just grabbed them and took it with me. Like, why? I don't know, but. So yeah, I grabbed the boots, and I just remember like running into the bathroom, just locking myself in the bathroom, like I just broke down crying. And I remember my best friend Asia coming to the door. She's knocking on the door. She's trying to get me to open the door, and I'm just like, I just needed a minute to just cry by myself. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just needed a long time to kind of get it out. So as I'm crying, my mom comes. Everybody trying to get me out the bathroom. I eventually came out, go into my mom's room. My mom had to give me a bath. Like, I still had blood on me. Like, I could not take a bath. I just couldn't get myself together. You know what I'm saying? So right after that, my cousin Ty, she came and picked me up, and we just kind of just, rode around. I rode around. I smoked. I drank. And it's just like, y'all, from that morning to maybe like 3 or 4 days later, like, I can't tell you nothing that happened. Like, I don't remember. Like, I think I might have been in a state of shock. Like, I can't tell you where my brain was. Like, my body was there, but I wasn't there. I was just a zombie at this point, for real. So I remember, like, specifically, like, we rode past Cookout a couple days, like, after this happened, and I remember just asking them, like, y'all, like, what's today? And everybody just looking at me like, girl, like, we so glad you saying something, because you ain't been saying nothing. Like, I could tell that everybody was probably concerned with how quiet I was for those days, but I think I really was just trying to, like, process, you know what I'm saying? I was really in a state of shock, like, for real. So that Thursday, when I finally snapped back into reality, like, we are going to go find him something to wear. Like, his mom actually let me be, in charge of getting him something to wear. So I went and picked him some clothes out. Like, I never really seen him in a suit or anything like that. So I just wanted to dress him how we would see him on a regular basis, how I know he would like to dress when he about to step out. So he loved Adidas, y'all, so I feel like it was only right. I went and got him a nice little Adidas jacket. I remember it was like red with the white stripes down the sleeves. And back then, the guys were wearing like the skinny legs with the distressed little, stonewash cracks in them. And I got him a pair of those because I know he liked those. And I got him a new watch, and he loves Chicago Bulls, so I got him a Chicago Bulls fitted hat. I just dressed him how I felt like he would dress on a normal Saturday night when we about to step out together or something. And y'all, he looked really good. Like, he looked really, really good. And y'all, must I add in, like, in the mix of all this, like, before I could even get to bury him, y'all, might I add, it was so much drama going on. It was girls that was popping out of the woodwork, making statuses, making it seem like that's they man or something. Saying that I was using him for clout. Like, these girls was reaching, like, for real. And it really was just sitting in me, because it's just like, if I wasn't gonna know about you when he was living, why do you want to make yourself known when he gone? Explain it to me. Because the same way I would handle business when he was living, I handle business with him gone, because don't disrespect me like that. So y'all, get to Thursday. No, it was Friday. It was his viewing. Get there. I literally, sat at the front. I sat there the whole entire service. Like, I didn't move. And one of his exes had actually came there, and she apologized to me, for everything. And she was just like, he loved you, et cetera, et cetera. And I could tell she wanted to stay. And at this point, it's just like, my boyfriend is gone. My daughter's father is gone. It's just like, ain't nothing going to be able to turn this around right now. I really don't care about anything, because the main thing I cared about is gone. So it was just like, what is it gonna hurt if she stay or go? So I let her stay. You know what I'm saying? Biggest mistake, but I let her stay. And that's a story for another day. So as I said, I sat there the whole entire service. I sat there till they turned the lights down, cut the music off, took him to the back. And I just remember thinking, like, this shit can't be real. Ain't no way. My god sisters, whose house it was, like, she wasn't speaking to me. Like, she was upset with me. because she had to move from her place. Like, she even had called me and asked me to help clean up the blood, and I was in no state of mind to do no such a thing. Like, so my cousins, they offered, of course, to go clean up the blood, because like, that's crazy. Like, how would you think that I can do that? And sorry to leave y'all hanging, but I'm running out of time, y'all. If y'all would like to hear the rest of everything, all the drama, everything that I went through from after that time leading up to now, how I began my healing process and how I'm still healing, helping my daughter heal, please comment part 4.
Okay, I could not find another part 4, so it's like she never got around to doing part 4. But this situation is totally sad, especially if like now, like, she has to deal with the emotions and everything of their daughter together. Like, I cannot imagine losing a dad, like, before I even really get to know him. And for her daughter and her to be there when it happened is tragic. The situation was just so weird, especially her just kept looking. And in her mind, it was normal because she just kept looking at him. But deep down, like, she just felt like something wasn't right looking back on it now. And so it's just sad. And for like the police officer to act the way he did when he got there, like, you can tell they don't really care. It's not them, it's not their family members. And the color of our skin, they care less. They don't take stuff serious. And for him to get there with an attitude and them try to calm her down, knowing that this situation was life-threatening and she witnessed the whole thing, and still treat her like, oh, she's like a criminal, is crazy. The whole situation is sad, and I hope her and her daughter be able to heal even more. But it's never gonna go away. Like, this will never get out of her head. You guys, drop down in the comment section what you think about this story. Don't forget to like, comment, hype me up, share this video. If you are returning, I really appreciate you guys, and I hope you all have a blessed day. Peace.